future marketers, what would you want to tell them?
To stay grounded to the business. Don't stay behind your screen. Don't execute someone else's strategy.
You're letting AI do the legwork for you, not think for you.
This is what AI is about. It's really a tool that should help you.
So you are among the believers who think work-life balance is not a myth.
It can be achieved if you are part of an ecosystem that helps you.
Gen Z are going to change the game.
I challenge you to recruit a Gen Z that would stay till midnight or 1 a.m.
SEO versus paid marketing.
Paid, if you want impact now, SEO will build durability.
One marketing cliche you would make fun of.
Marketing never has enough budget.
Your favorite piece of advice that you received so far.
You need to run sprints, but at the same time, keep in mind that you're running a marathon.
Hello and welcome back to Behind Marketing Lines, where stories fuel growth. I'm your host Zeeshan, and today my guest is Myreine A. Myreine, thank you for taking time out. Good to have you behind Marketing Lines.
Good to be here, Z.
As always, I'll head straight to the questions. So what if your life was a movie? What's the opening scene like and what's the title called?
It would be The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Interesting.
Opening scene, an airport, a suitcase, a boarding pass to a new country, new market, new culture, new rule of the game. The pattern is learn fast, build credibility, and then move on to the next step of your professional life with a higher stake of complexity. It's about reinvention through movement, stepping out of one's comfort zone. It's not a comfort story, it's a growth story.
Interesting. And since you're a storyteller, what if your life was a book? Which chapter are we at right now?
It would be called probably New Chapter or The Way Forward. Okay. I recently closed a 5 years chapter and moving into a new chapter.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so a new exciting chapter is already starting for you. That is amazing.
It is.
Perfect. So what's your origin story? How did you get into marketing? Did you always study and plan that I'm going to get into marketing?
Not at all.
Okay.
So I grew up in Paris. Then I went back to Lebanon after the war. I did a bachelor's in marketing, advertising, and sales. Then I went back to Paris to do a master's in business administration and international affairs.
Right.
I then started working with Deloitte in the clients and markets department, which is the marketing and internal strategy department of Deloitte.
Okay.
I then moved back to Lebanon. I worked with the leading department store and mall called ABC. Mm-hmm. Then I went to a bank for almost 2 years and a half. Then I was contacted to come to Dubai as the marketing director of Shalhoub, of their business on their beauty-owned concept business, mainly faces.
Okay.
After that, almost 3 years, I moved to Damas as the marketing, communication, and creative director. I fell into marketing a bit by accident. I always liked both artistic and scientific topics. I was interested in both.
Right.
I have a mind that is split between creativity and science. At the time, I had to choose what my career would be. I was more leaning into a scientific career, mainly research in biology or to become a psychologist. But I didn't have great support from my family, who thought it was very long studies and it's not fun. I would spend my time in hospital, clinics. They really wanted me to do something fun.
Right.
So I was still, reflecting on what I was going to do when my mother came home with a brochure. At the time, we had brochures.
Right.
And she told me, just look at this, bachelor and tell me what you think. And I opened the brochure and I saw topics, both artistic and scientific, such as sales technique, statistic, price elasticity, commercial and consumer law, but also photography classes, visual identity, psychology of the consumer. history of art. And I really looked at it and I said, really, this fits my personality. This is what I want to do.
So you did get into psychology, but the most fun part of it, called marketing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How was the journey so far? Was it smooth or was there any plot twist?
The plot twist, I think, Z, was actually me coming to Dubai
Okay.
because I didn't plan to come to Dubai. And at the time, I wasn't really looking to relocate anywhere. And I received a phone call and I started the interview process. And then when I came for the final face to face interview, I really saw and felt the energy in Dubai.
Right.
And I said to myself, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to continue my career. And I think Dubai is a great place to be for everyone, but especially for marketeers. It's really one step ahead in terms of possibilities, digital innovation, brand experience, building new brands. You know, you have a lot of market potential, purchase behavior, and the energy is contagious. You want
That
to
is
do
so true.
more, better all the time.
That is correct. And that's the beauty of this city, Dubai, right? Once you have worked here, you do not want to work anywhere else. Once you have lived here, you do not want to live anywhere else.
Exactly.
Can you share something that you're working on right now that excites you the most? Any personal project or professional?
I'm really working on a lot of AI certification,
Oh, nice.
AI tools, upgrading, you know, my knowledge in AI, but not the theory of it, really the practicality of it. And I think really this is very interesting. It's a revolution, evolution. I think it's going to change a lot of things.
Indeed, it has changed a lot of things, and I think it is going to change more. And I think, our generation, we started off as madmen, right? We still had the print media, we still had the billboards, people
Yeah.
actually spending money there. And then we sort of grew up with the digital marketing, and now AI is changing the game altogether. So I think it's really exciting.
Absolutely.
Are there any challenges other than AI that are keeping you up at night?
Unrest and permanent instability in the world. The cycles of disruption are getting shorter and shorter. Every day we wake up to disruptive news, being war, conflict, economic turmoil, inflation. So it's very difficult to plan your life long term with this uncertainty. You
True.
need a plan B and even a plan C.
That's correct. I hope the world comes to an ease and I hope we all live in peace. Well, I know it's a dream, but I hope it comes true for
We
our
need to
generations.
dream.
That is correct. Looking back, was there a defining moment in your career that is when you decided that, okay, my career is going to take this direction?
It was a series of moments and opportunities.
Right.
At every step of my career journey, I joined businesses that were going through the transformation journey,
Okay.
whether going from a shopping destination to a lifestyle destination, changing the category mix, bringing in entertainment, or brands that needed to reposition their USP to be more aligned to the new reality of the market, new competition that was more agile, new purchase behavior, or brands that were losing market share because they had no desirability anymore. So building this desirability back, creating a recognizable identity, targeting a younger customer with a different purchase behavior and different trends. These moments led my journey for me to become an expert in brand transformation.
I personally believe that our generation got to do that more because for us, there were two different worlds, as I mentioned earlier, we were dealing with. There is one traditional way of doing things, and then there is one unorthodox way of doing things. And then we have to be the bridge and we have to make sure that we're using both the past and the future. and then we are bringing the value for the brand. So very rightly said.
Absolutely. And this happens usually when you're at a senior level of your career, when you have this strategic view, holistic view, to be able really to help a brand transform and step into the next, untapped potential.
You have accomplished a lot and you get to do a lot every day as well. If we were to zoom into a day in your life, how does it start and how does it end? And how do you accomplish, so many things in between?
It's important for me to have balance in my life.
Right.
Between work, well-being, socializing, resting. I try the best I can to reach this balance, even though it's sometimes difficult.
Right.
So a day would look like I wake up, I drink my coffee, I get ready, I jump in my car while listening to the news. Then I split my day in two at work. So the morning I do my emails, phone calls, strategic work like presentation, roadmaps, memos. I have a quick lunch at my desk usually.
Right.
In the afternoon, this is where I do the meetings, whether internal or external networking.
Okay.
In the evening, I hit the gym.
Right.
And then when I have a social event, I attend a social event or I rest. I watch a movie, I read. It's relaxation time.
It is also very important for marketers to stay updated with the news. And I really liked it. You didn't mention music, she didn't mention podcasts, but she said news. And I think we all need to stay up to date. I think that's very important.
Yes, absolutely.
What's one lesson that your career taught you the hard way?
It taught me that you can be very good at what you do, very good at your job,
Right.
but you need to learn and take the time to show it and to convey the impact and the added value of your work to people internally. And for that, you need to translate it into a business language that the stakeholders can relate to.
Agreed.
Whether it's the sales team or the CFO or the CEO, you unfortunately cannot expect your work to be understood if you don't take the time to show it using a language that relates to the business.
That is so true and very important. I think speaking their language and then understanding their language as well and then translating your work into that language, it's really important.
Yes.
What if you were to give a piece of advice to the future marketers? What would you want to tell them?
If I have to choose one, there are many, but let's say, okay, I'll focus on two. The first one is to stay grounded to the business.
Right.
Don't stay behind your screen. Go on the floor. Go to the stores. Talk to the sales team. Visit your competition. Speak to peers in the same industry. Stay connected to your clients. Listen to them. Talk to them. To the trends. To what's happening in the market. So really be connected with what's happening and with the ground, the floor. Don't work in silo. And my second advice would be keep learning. Learn alone. Don't wait for trainings. Learn by yourself. And permanent learning is key.
I'm hearing this a lot, and I think this is really important, especially for marketers. They should not be sitting behind their desks and thinking that, okay, I did this course or I read this on LinkedIn or I saw this trend on TikTok and my job is done. No, they need to go out, learn the business first, as you very rightly mentioned. And I totally agree with it. Because until and unless we do not understand our business, for example, if I sell insurance or if I market insurance and I do not understand the products, I do not understand the inclusions and exclusions, then definitely I cannot make the prospects understand the product. So I think it's really important to sit with the business and understand it first. Thank you for saying that. Moving on, what's one underrated tool or practice that you would want to talk about or that keeps you sharp? For example, any app that you use or any framework that you follow?
First, for me, it's really about your marketing strategy. Don't jump into execution.
Okay.
And don't execute someone else's strategy. You need to align the marketing strategy to the business strategy, obviously, but draft a document that is a marketing strategy, choose 4 or 5 strategic pillars, then strategic enablers, and how you're going to achieve it and by when. This is your roadmap. And then on a daily basis, I use a lot of AI tools mainly to help me do my PowerPoint presentations. I do a
Right.
lot of presentations, and it's quite time consuming. Now, with all these tools, you can just plug your notes. The tool does the layout for you. You need to proofread it, but it helps a lot.
You're letting AI do the legwork for you, not think for you. I
Yes.
think this is what I'm hearing. So you're doing the thinking yourself and you're letting it do the legwork.
This is what AI is about. It's really a tool that should help you, not
Agreed.
replace you or think for you, in my opinion.
Since you get to accomplish a lot during your day, what's one habit or ritual that, keeps your focus intact?
Coffee and exercise.
Staying fit is really important.
Yes, it is.
What if you were teaching your younger self a crash course? What chapter would you teach them first?
To protect your work-life balance.
Okay.
And I believe this is a notion that was brought to us by Gen Z. But if you're a millennial and even more a Gen X, we really didn't have this mindset at the time.
That is true.
Our priority was our career. And then if you had time for the rest, we had time for the rest. But it was normal for us to work late hours in the office, to bring back work at home, to work on the weekend. And it was part of a system. If you wanted to grow or to get promoted, you needed to play by the rule of the system.
Agreed.
And looking back, I do think that protecting work-life balance is very important. It's even important for the business to get people stay efficient, sharp, and play the long-term game.
So you are among the believers who think work-life balance is not a myth. It can be achieved.
It can be achieved if you are part of an ecosystem
Right.
that helps you, which is, the organization thinks the same, your manager or your boss also understand that, you're in an industry that believes in that. So it's about you, but it's also about working in an environment that relates also to this concept.
Whether we believe it or not, I think Gen Z are going to change the game, right?
They are changing it. I challenge you to recruit a Gen Z that would stay till midnight or 1 a.m. I did this for 1 year.
Right.
You don't find this. And they are right.
That is true. Yep. But again, I mean, those rules of the game that we have been following so far, and like most of the senior people within the organizations follow the same. I think it's hard for the managers who are the frontline managers now to strike a balance between the Gen Z and the previous generations that they are working with. I mean, at times it's hard for people to explain to their senior management that why are my team members leaving the office early, coming almost on time or a bit late, and still getting stuff done.
Yes, exactly. I mean, for me, the job needs to be done, whatever it takes. You can go into a sprint and stay late on a project. This is part of being committed also to your work. But I don't believe it should be all the time like this.
Agreed.
It should be tactical for a certain project, but then you cannot stay all the time doing this.
Agreed.
We used to do that, and we still do,
guilty.
by the way. Yep. But things are changing.
And they're changing for good.
Yes.
Perfect. Now we move into the rapid fire round, and I'm going to ask you a few professional questions first, and then I'll move to a few personal questions. So no explanations needed, just one thing that you would pick. So I'll start with SEO versus paid marketing.
Both. Paid, if you want impact now, SEO will build durability.
Brand or performance marketing?
Brand, it starts by there.
Creativity or data?
Creativity.
Startup hustle or corporate structure?
I'm more of a corporate structure person.
Books or podcasts?
I used to read a lot, but now podcasts.
LinkedIn or Instagram?
LinkedIn for my personal use. If you're a brand advertising, I would probably say Instagram.
AI or human intuition?
Human intuition.
Of course, always. Global campaigns or local activations?
Global campaigns for bigger impact, then consolidate with local activations to build your community.
And work from home or office?
Hybrid,
Risk taking or playing it safe?
measured risk taking if you want to stand out.
Customer first or product first?
Customer first, always.
Choose one. Let's test it or let's get approval.
Let's get approval to test it.
Interesting. Campaigns that win awards or campaigns that sell?
Campaigns that sell. If you sell, you win the client's award, which, in my opinion, is the most important award.
Agreed. So, a few personal questions. Tea or coffee?
Coffee,
Mountains or beaches?
beaches,
Early mornings or late nights?
late nights.
Reading or web series?
Reading, if it's article, news, if it's books, web series.
Solo travel or group trips?
Group trips.
Are you a minimalist or a collector?
I'm a pure minimalist.
City life or countryside?
City life.
Planner or last minute?
Planner.
Inbox zero or 1,000 emails?
Inbox zero.
That's an accomplishment. Gym or I'll start Monday?
Gym.
Alarm snooze or jump out of bed?
Alarm snooze.
Music while working or absolute silence?
Absolute silence.
Okay, this is an interesting question. So, if you could create a marketing comedy sketch, what one marketing cliche you would make fun of?
Cliche probably would be that marketing never has enough budget.
Right.
And it's a cliche, by the way, but it can be a sketch.
Okay.
It's a cliche because usually what happens is that the budget is not always aligned to the deliverables.
That
So
is
this
true.
is where the cliche happens.
What if your life was a marketing campaign? What's the tagline?
It would be unleash the potential,
Okay.
brand transformation, and I'm an expert in brand transformation, helps brands unleash untapped potential.
You must have received so many advices during your career or life. What was your favorite piece of advice that you received so far?
You need to run sprints, but at the same time, keep in mind that you're running a marathon. This goes back to the work-life balance. So you cannot always overperform, beat the deadlines. You need to think also on the long term, not to overpressure and stress yourself. That you need to run sprints, but stay also manage your energy to run a marathon at the same time.
Right. And can you share one funny, awkward, or oh no moment from one of the meetings you had, or you were a guest at a podcast, or you were in an interview that never made it to LinkedIn?
I was in a meeting once. I was presenting market research for one of the brands I was working for,
Okay.
and presenting the fact that the brand was top of mind. And a question was asked, and the question was, why is it important for our brand to be top of mind?
Okay.
So this was awkward for me, but it made me realize that you really need to explain about basic concept. I mean, concept that might be basic to a marketeer, but that actually is not for a non-marketeer.
While you were saying this, there was a similar incident that was coming to my mind as well. And I got asked, what is TOF, right? Because that is what I wrote there. And then I had to explain. And the next time I had all the explanations written to all those marketing jargon that I was going to use. So finally now, I mean, where I work, they know what ROAS is. But previously it was, read as roar. They were like, you want to roar? And I was like, no, it's not roar. What if you had to describe your journey so far in 3 words? What those 3 words would be?
It would be hard work,
Okay.
growth through learning, stepping out of my comfort zone, taking new challenges, and then leadership, where you reach a point you mentor people for them to grow.
What if the marketing as we know it was to disappear tomorrow? What one thing from marketing as it is today you would want to go out, wear your, superhero cape, fight and bring back?
Creativity and innovation.
Right.
And I think this is going to be even more important with AI.
Of course.
So this is what I will really fight to bring back.
There is no marketing without creativity, and of course, there is no marketing without innovation.
Absolutely.
You must have put a lot of billboards out there for the brands that you have worked with. What if you get a chance to put a billboard about yourself on Sheikh Zayed Road? What are you going to write on it?
Be the best version of yourself.
Interesting. When the credits roll on your professional journey, what would you want those lines to read?
I hope people will say she lived by her values.
I'm pretty sure they're going to say that. And any pieces of advice for the future marketers? What should they do to be you?
Marketers who will make the difference will have to have two things, in my opinion. First, business acumen,
Right.
understand the holistic picture of a business, to think strategically,
Right.
to understand and speak the language of the business and drive the business. This will make the difference. It's not a vanity department. It's not a cost center anymore. Marketing drives the business. And the second thing is really innovation. Move the lines, stand out, be always thinking, what shall I do to be one step ahead, to stay relevant, but to stay innovative.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much for taking time out and sharing your story with us. I think it's really inspirational. And most of the things that you mentioned, I think they will go a long way, especially for the future marketers who are listening to this. I think they're going to be very important, and please take notes.
Thank you, Z. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, that was the story of Myreine. Thank you for tuning into Behind Marketing Lines, and I'll see you in the next episode.